Hey everyone, do you remember the CELPIP Speaking Task 3 in this theme that the students were in the classroom without the teacher's presence? As you might know before, in CELPIP Speaking Task 4, you're required to predict what will happen in the same picture that you discussed in CELPIP Speaking Task 3. You describe the situation in CELPIP Speaking Task 3. Now you want to say what will happen, what I think might happen next. So you need to prepare yourself for 30 seconds, and after this preparation time, you're required to speak for 60 seconds. So the key point is to use future tenses and modals. Feeling a little nervous? Don't sweat it. This video will equip you with easy tips and strategies to answer with confidence. By the end of this video, you will be a prediction pro. Are you ready to impress the CELPIP raters? Let's go! In order to tackle task 4 successfully, you need to devise a good strategy and use applicable tips or grammatical structures in your speaking to impress the raters and get a good grades. Like other speaking tasks, this task needs to have a good structure so that the listener can follow the logical order of information. It means you have to devise a good manner of providing information. For example, you should follow this rule to start speaking from top to bottom in a clockwise or from bottom to top in a counterclockwise. Also use prepositional phrases. I suggest you to watch our Self Speaking 3 video in order to understand how to use prepositional phrases while describing the situation of a theme, which is provided during the Self Speaking Task 3 and Task 4. As you're going to predict about a situation in a scene, you need to use the best grammatical references to convey the message properly. Modal verbs such as may, might, and could are commonly used to express future actions with probability. For example, you can predict she might have stopped talking on the phone in order to go and separate the two boys who have been fighting. Or another example would be something like this: the girl in the center of the classroom might get hurt as the boys who have been fighting will probably fall on her while pushing each other. Phrases like it's possible that or there is a chance that can also be used to express uncertainty about future events. For example, you can say that the two boys' physical altercation escalates higher and their peers probably intervene to defuse the situation. Adverbs like probably, likely, or possibly can indicate the likelihood of a future action. For example, it's likely that the teacher will enter the classroom and everyone will stand still or stop whatever they have been doing so far. The second example would be something like this: possibly she will hang up the phone in order to help de escalate the situation. And the third example would be something like this: the two boys who have been exchanging kicks and blows may possibly hurt each other. Now you need to start your prediction with an introduction that makes a connection with the previous story in task 3. It should be concise and clear. I suggest this. You can start with the same name that you used in task 3. For example, hey Sarah, building on what we saw earlier in this picture, let's predict what might happen in this lively classroom. Or you can say that without a name. For example, all right, building on the classroom scene, let's predict what unfolds next in this lively classroom. Next step is to immediately predict scenario by scenario. This means you need to make a connection between the prediction that you're going to make and the story you made already in task 3. This helps the listener to catch up with you easily. This action that you're doing is improving your listenability and comprehensibility score in self-paced speaking task 4. Scenario 1: addressing the disruption. The commotion might not go unnoticed for long. The teacher, surprised by the noise, could walk in any moment and ask them to settle down and remind them of the classroom rules. Scenario 2, escalating fight. Things could also take a turn for the worse. The fight between the two boys on the right seems to be escalating. One of them might get hurt, and the other students might have to intervene to stop them before things get out of hand. Scenario 3, music time with headphones. On a more positive note, the girl with blonde hair who's putting on her headphones might finally find some peace and quiet. Once she has her music on, she might block out all the noise around her and focus on her own activity, enjoying her tunes. Scenario 4, spreading the fun. Who knows, the fun might be contagious. The girl with the orange braids might just stop talking on the phone and join the boy with the green t shirt. Maybe she'll show him something funny on her phone, and their laughter could spread throughout the classroom, making the whole situation even more lively. Scenario 5, teacher's return announcement. Finally, the classroom door could open. Perhaps another student announces the teacher's return soon, prompting everyone to scramble to their seats. Students have always been asking this question: how many scenarios can be handled in an actual CELPIP speaking task for exam situation? As you saw, we have addressed 5 scenarios so far. Are we going to use all of them in the actual CELPIP speaking task for exam? No, for sure no, because you don't have time. Time flies. So I suggest you focus on only 3 scenarios so you have enough time to use variety of vocabularies and grammars that is actually designed for self-paced speaking task 4 or limited with the time. So focus on these, and then on the other side, you have to think of listenability and comprehensibility, let alone the coherent and we say grammar and other criteria. You have task fulfillment also. So task fulfillment, for example, if you're going to use 4 scenario but you're not going to finish on time, you will lose mark. Focus on 3 realistic scenario that you have in your mind. And by realistic, I don't want to say that you're gonna make a real uh, we say scenario. No, that's an imagination. That's a prediction. I mean, by realistic, I mean be realistic on what points you're going to say. So, come to the next slide. I'm going to share with you a 3 scenario prediction for self speaking task 4. See you. Hey Sarah, building on what we saw earlier in this picture, let's predict what might happen in this lively classroom. The commotion might not go unnoticed for long. The teacher, surprised by the noise, could walk in any moment and ask them to settle down and remind them of the classroom rules. Things could also take a turn for the worse. The fight between the two boys on the right seems to be escalating. One of them might get hurt, and the other students might have to intervene to stop them before things get out of hand. On a more positive note, the girl with blonde hair who's putting on her headphones might finally find some peace and quiet. Once she has her music on, she might block out all the noise around her and focus on her own activity, enjoying the tunes. This is a funny classroom. I like it. Thank you for watching this video so far. If you found this video helpful, please share it with whomever you think they might need it. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions. See you in our next episode of CELPIP Speaking Task 5. Until then, happy studying.